So they did a remake of Fruits Basket. I've never read the manga. Um, I watched it years after it came out, and I loved it. And then in 2019, they did a remake, which I guess was supposed to more closely follow the manga. Again, I haven't read it, so I don't know how well they executed that. But I just finished the first season of that, and I love it. Basically, it is... I recommend both. The old version and this new version. I can only speak for the first season I've seen so far of this new version. But it's on Crunchyroll. The old one, I don't know. Maybe Funimation has it. Maybe Netflix. I'm not sure. I think Funimation, though. For sure. Because it was, like, through them, I think. I know they sell it, I think. But yeah. So, I'm going to talk about the first season, which is episode 1 to episode 25 of the new version, the 2019 version. Again, you can find it on Crunchyroll. So, our main character is Toru Honda. She is an orphan. We find out her mom has just died, and I don't remember if they ever mentioned. I know her dad was dead in the original, but, when I say original, I mean the first anime. I don't know if they ever explained how or why. I knew he was not there. But apparently he died from complications from a cold. But when we start the story, she is kind of camping out in the forest. And the reason why is her mom died. She went to stay with her grandpa, who I guess was her father's father. And he decides to get his house remodeled or something like that. So he goes to stay with his family or his other kid, whoever the fuck, whatever. The other family, they're not important. At least not in the first season, not really. And he says if if it's more comfortable for you, you can stay with a friend. But she has two friends, Ua and Hana, or Uatani and Hanajima, I believe their actual names are, and those are just kind of like nicknames. Uatani was in a girl gang. Spoiler. Well, not really spoiler, because you know right away. Kyoko's Toru's mom, and she was the leader of a biker gang as well. And then Hanajima, or Hana, they never really explained her in the original anime. I knew she had, wave powers, but they never explained what the fuck that meant. Here we actually get a flashback for both of them, so we get more information on them, which made me really happy. And they don't really explain it to us, they kind of show us to an extent, kind of like what she can do, without saying what she can do. And, basically she has powers, we'll put it that way. That's probably one of my favorite things about both of the anime, was her relationship with her mother, which was so supportive and adorable, and she was like a doting parent, but she gave awesome advice all the time, and it never felt preachy, and they never felt annoying. I guess Toru would be considered a Mary Sue, maybe? I think I'd have to look up the definition again, or a very goody-goody, but she never felt obnoxiously so. And, I just realized that thinking about, what I wanted to say in this review. And, I've never once found Toru or her mom annoying. I always thought they were adorable. That they never felt like they were butting into anybody's problems. It felt like they were just kind of there and genuinely kind of, supported that person and in the moment if they could. Rather than just, back in my day, here's some 2 cents whippersnapper. I don't know why I did that, because Toru was, in high school. I think she was second year? So she's sophomore, I think. And her mom there's no way that bitch was, early 30s at the oldest. She was pretty, she was young, and, she dies in a car accident, by the way. And then, I guess the dad died when Toru was 3, so she doesn't really remember much, but I guess they described him as kind of straight-laced, and his name was Katsuya, I think. We only get a brief mention of him, and then nothing so far. Like I said, I haven't... You okay? haven't seen the second season, so I don't know if they actually add more, and I haven't read the manga, so I don't know how in depth they go into him. Anyway, so it's about Toru and how she's kind of camping out because she doesn't want to bother her friends, because Hana has 5 siblings and Uotani has her dad, and they kind of live in a small apartment, so she doesn't want to bother them. So she decides, I'll camp out for a bit, and then, you know, when the renovations are done, I'll go, you know, stay with grandpa again or whatever. And so she has extra time in the morning to go to school, so she's like, you know, I'll just walk around the area for a bit. And then she finds there's a house there, and she's like, oh god, am I on someone's property? And she kind of gets distracted. She like goes up to the house, and they have like little knickknacks of the Chinese zodiac, like it looks like little rocks or something, and someone like painted the animals on. It was very cute. And the first person she meets, I think, is Shigure, who is a novelist and one of the Somas. And she kind of tells the tale about how her favorite is the cat from the Zodiac, who is not actually included in the Zodiac. But basically the story, which is very important, is that there was supposed to be this banquet, and the rat from the Zodiac decided to play a prank on the cat and say it was the next day. So of course the cat didn't go to the banquet and spent the day alone while everyone else partied. And apparently it was a story like Toru's mom would tell her, and she's like crying because she's like a little girl at the time, and she's like, I'll change my year from the year of the dog, because that's when she's born, to the year of the cat. And just, she's adorable. And basically the Somas are this family. Another character we get introduced right after Shigure is Yuki, and he's like this popular boy at school. He is also a Soma, and he is very important to the story. And then we also get introduced a little bit later on, after she goes to school, I think, to when she gets back. No, I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm kind of going forward here. Sorry, lost track. So she meets them, and is kind of shocked and like freaks out, and runs away. And then on her way back to where her little campsite is, she's very tired. She has to work to like, because she wants to pay for her tuition, because her grandpa's on a pension and she doesn't want to bother him, so she says, I'll at least pay for my food and my tuition. And so she gets back from work very tired, kind of not feeling good, and Yuki and Shigure are walking back through like a bamboo thicket forest type thing, and they're like bitching about how like they always had to go out and eat because neither of them can cook, they can't do housework, they're kind of just fucked. And the house is not in good shape, or at least the kitchen is trashed literally. And they kind of like spy Toru through the thicket, and they follow her, realize she's on the tent, and they kind of invite her back to the house, and she kind of explains why the hell she's out there. And they're like, we thought it was strange, because she kind of mentioned, oh, I'm in the neighborhood. They're like, yeah, we thought it was strange, because this is all Soma property. So we were a little confused that, like, someone would be out here. Because it's Shigure's house she finds. And then a landslide happens, and it happens to be right where her tent is, so that's trashed. And, she kind of gets a fever, and she's kind of freaking out, because her mom's photo was underneath there, so she's like, I gotta rescue mom. You know, she's just kind of getting worn out by fever, because everyone almost dies from the fucking fever in these type of shows for whatever reason. It must be the climate difference, because when I think of a cold, I just think of stuffy nose, runny nose, coughing. That's not necessarily the case in other places, especially if it's in a place where it's like fucking humid or something. It's going to be a lot worse, I would assume. Anyway, so yeah, she's kind of like just about to faint, not good, high fever, and they kind of let her stay there. And Yuki gets her photos, and we find out, Kyoya shows up, and he's also an important character. He is, him and Yuki hate each other, and then as, he kind of bursts through the ceiling, Kyo does, from where, like, Toru's staying, and she kind of accidentally trips on, like, a broken piece of the ceiling, and ends up accidentally, like, tripping on Kyoya, and magical smoke appears, and we find out Kyoya is a cat. And then she's like, oh fuck, freaking out, like, oh my god, I turned into a cat, I'm so sorry. And then, something similar happens to Shigure. He's the dog, and Yuki is the rat. The Somas have been cursed for generations to be or some of them to be the animals of the zodiac. And it's kind of her and her influence on them and their influence on her. Like, with them, she becomes a little bit more selfish, where she's always been very selfless, never thinking of herself. And she learns to accept a little bit more help throughout the series, and then she gives kind of like emotional support and advice and just in general comfort to the Somas. And it's, you know, shows that just beat the shit out of you with the feels. It's one of those shows. There's a lot of cute, there's kind of a lot of funny, but like, they will smack the shit out of you with your emotions. You're just like, oh god, no, stop, oh Jesus, not again. And yeah, so from what I remember, because it has been years since I finished and watched the first anime, and I believe it's a little bit of spoiler, but not really. Like, in the first one, I believe she does meet Akito, like, at the Soma house, and I think he throws a fit, and then, but in the first season of this one, in this new anime, well, she has met him at school. She has not met him at the Soma house. So I don't know how much is different, but I do remember a lot of similar things. And then they definitely added stuff. Like, they added a little bit more about Kyoko, I think. They added more backstory for Hana and Uetani. So that was nice. We actually get, like, 2 episodes for them, I think, 2 each. To, like, actually flesh out why, you know, they are the way they are. But I really love this show. I want to watch this. I know there's 2 seasons out. I just watched the first one. I'm going to watch the second one. Is there a 3rd season? Or is the 3rd season the final season? Or is there going to be a 4th season? That's the final season. I'm fucking confused. So I'll have to get back to you. But, it's on Crunchyroll. You can watch the 1st and 2nd season. Like I said, I know there's going to be another season, but I don't know if there's a 4th season or a 3rd season. I know there's another season coming, I think. And it's supposed to be the final season. It's not like a fucking poster of it, like, final season, brr, you know. So, anyway, it's an amazing... Sorry, I'm, like, kind of actually getting it ready on my thing. It's an amazing show. I really love it. And, made me cry, made me laugh. And so I kind of knew what happened, and then I haven't read the manga, so now, going into the 2nd season, I don't know what's going to happen next. Which kind of gets me a little nervous. Because, there is some sad shit that happens in this show, and there are dark moments. So there is violence. Beware of that. But it's not so much of, like, evil people as... Oh, no, wait. No. We're talking about the Honda thing. There's some fuckers that are mean. But yeah. So it's basically kind of like Toru trying... She's, you know, kind of getting more and more involved with the Somas and more of the Somas as the show goes on, and her meeting more of the Zodiac members. I'm actually curious how many she's met so far. And, them influencing each other, her kind of figuring out, like, there's more going on with the Somas than just the Zodiac thing. And there's definitely deep baggage for characters. There is abuse, physical abuse, like mental abuse, especially with some of these Somas, and how it's kind of, like, affected them. And, like, they have deep baggage. It's not just like, oh no, we turn into animals. Like, there's some shit going on. And so, if you want a cute show, this is definitely it, but be ready for some bittersweet moments. There are people getting hurt, either intentionally or, you know, just you know, you live life, you kind of just, you hurt people intentionally or not. There's some, like, bullying, there's some, like, it's kind of a spoiler, but kind of not really. But basically, to give you an example, is Momiji, one of the characters from the Zodiac, describes that, I won't spoil his story completely, but it does kind of, yeah, maybe a little bit, where he says, children of the Zodiac have kind of two types of parents. Ones are either extremely overprotective of their children, rightfully so, or they flat out reject them. So there are some people who getting bullied physically and emotionally, as well as like just people, because of this curse, just not being okay. Like, the cat is hated, and so the cat is treated horribly, basically. And, of course, because of the story about, you know, how the rat started it, Kyoya, who is the cat, hates Yuki, who is the rat. And so there is some hostile moments in this anime. Like, it's not all fun and rainbow, is what I'm trying to say. Like, there are some deep issues with some of these characters. They actually kind of show that, and if that's a trigger for you, I just want to let you know. But if you can get past that, or it doesn't bother you, I highly recommend this series. I love the old one. So far, I love the first season of this new one. I never read the manga, but I highly recommend it. It's been a while since I've done a recommended video. This is like a review slash recommended video, I think. Anyway, I'm gonna go watch the second season now, and probably cry my eyes out. Oh, I think I put it in the description. Okay. A couple of videos, like 2 videos ago, I did like a very short, like 4-second or something thing, where I'm like, this is some queen shit. That is Uotani, the blonde chick, who is talking to some of the bullies. Sorry. And, yeah. I was joking, but yeah, I was like, she is awesome. And she's the gang girl. The gang girl. I'm stupid. But yeah, I just thought she was awesome, and I'm just like, this is just awesome. So yeah, if you're like, who the hell is Uotani? That's the blonde chick is her in that video. Well, it's a still shot. I paused and then took a picture with my phone, or I did a video with my phone like I am now, and just uploaded it. It's like a few seconds. So if you're just like, woo, I don't think it said who it was in the video, but yeah, it's her and some of the bullies. And I think Tora was also in the background. I don't know. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, check out my other videos. Be safe. Did I cover everything? I think I did. Okay, I want to go watch my thing. Bye.